Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Last Days of Europe with me, Alpha by Omega, and Greater Germanic Reich. So, we're back! We're back in the great game. We're back in the great game where we are a stronger reformist nation that is trying to sway Romania on our side. We started in the last episode the locate the Iron Guard basis option, and we're gonna see how that is going to go. We are also still in the process of waiting for the token political promises. Yes, we have the vast and hold speech available, but we need the token ones because that's going to get us the regime stability that we need to be able to go through with the Ausbildung initiative. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna wait a couple of days, maybe we'll get it. Then we could make a choice if we're going to push for it or if we're going to address another option. Actually, the ones that are with the Reichskommissariat Caucasian, how fast are they? 7 days, huh? These are... Oh, these help with stability. Okay, so we're gonna do these while we wait, because having 7.5% extra is going to go a long way for us. Whether or not we're gonna get the token political promises, they are going to be good. So wait, lost production units. Are you still... Why did you lower my factory count again, game? You gave me something and then you took it away. You're just like a wife. Inflation. Well, the economy is doing better and better. That makes me happy, but we won't go much further before we get the Ausbildung initiative. Okay, so 3 divisions have just been recruited. The 31st, 32nd, and 33rd. 31st is going to be assigned to the 3rd Infantry Army, while the 2 other units are going to be assigned to the 1st Infantry Army. We are going to drill them immediately, immediately, once they arrive to their borders. And at this point, we should be, but we are not, training 2 more divisions for the 2nd Infantry Army. So let's shuttle that and have them have a stab at it. Okay, so we're missing not only the anti-air, but also the anti-tank equipment. In great numbers, actually. 24 out of 351, but anti-tank equipment should be really quick. Yeah, we have only 2 factories dedicated to it, but we're producing nearly 10 per day. So this is a matter of, a few weeks, so that's good. The basic anti-air is doing good as well, so that is good. That is good. So, still no token political promises, but we get the observations of outside. Anyone can watch the news and see what's going on in the wider world, but the Gestapo, I guess I should pronounce it Gestapo because it's the Geheime Staatspolizei, Gestapo and Abwehr have been consistently outwitted by their foreign opponents for decades. During the Second World War, espionage was one of the few areas that the Allies were always able to beat us in. Galen, strangely enough, appears to have been working on this matter on his own accord even before the end of the war. He informs us that Russia has drastically changed in the years since the West Russian War. Beyond the borders of the Reichskommissariat Moscovian, the former Soviet Union has given way to a multitude of warlords and splintered states, all vying for supremacy over the ruins of Russia. Galen's agents have informed him of widespread plans for reunification by the disparate rulers of the Urals, Siberia, and Central Asia. That's not all, either. Galen has provided a literal pile of information on the world's most troubled regions, from our own position in Europe and Africa to far-flung China, slowly rebuilding in Japanese shadow. The world, according to Galen, is certainly more interesting than we had previously thought. So base stability increased by 2 and regime stability by 2.5. A helping hand is going to be good too. 50 political power is going to go a long way for us. Okay, we can still only... Well, I mean, why haven't we already done that? We can hold the speech. It's not an issue. Socialist Republic of Niger River and their allies have defeated the Sokoto. Okay. Sokoto is no more. And what about the Great Game? How are we doing? Still... Okay, one more day. So fingers crossed, guys. 8. Okay. 8 is good. Now we can let them take a stab at it, and if they do something, we have a chance to go with the pledge to help the guard. Token, yes, token political promises. That's what we have been waiting for this whole time. So that gives us 44.9. And once we finish the helping hand, we're going to be able to go with the vast political promises, which will put us nearly to 60 at this point. Should be more than enough for our purposes. Speaking of which, I would really like to strengthen the motorized infantry divisions. Okay, we have an event here, but let me just first check this, because they are fairly... Yeah, they're fairly weak. They're really fast compared to our infantry divisions. Compared to all of our infantry divisions, actually. But they are fairly weak. So we would need to strengthen them. And I would really like to give them, for example, the helicopters and light armored recon. That would make them way more stronger. Assault company, and you could get the armored cars actually, because that would fit well with you. So that would require, well, we got some attack helicopters in reserve, that's good. Support equipment. Oh god. Oh god, what the hell is going on? Jesus. Jesus! What? Okay, Indonesia is coming to pieces. Support equipment we got, armored cars we got. Attack. Wow, I could actually go ahead with this immediately. Breakthrough, hard attack, soft attack. The APCs would make you way slower. Defense would be lowered, but hard attack and breakthrough would be increased. If we added it here instead of the cars, that would also be amazing. But it would make you significantly slower. We'll have to redesign the APC then, I guess. In the meantime, let's do this. Let us modernize our motorized divisions. So, Kaisinger's demands, healthcare and education. Speer nodded approvingly as he downed the final page of the proposal. A nice fat dose of funding for education and healthcare, enough to make the Reich look like one of the most progressive nations on earth, was sure to go over well with anyone who had a half a brain. Well, Herr Kaisinger, he said with an honest smile, this is more like it. It's nice to have a proposal that won't anger at least half the Reichstag. It's nice to have a proposal that would anger at least half the Reichstag come to my desk. Kaisinger chuckled warmly. I'm sure, my Führer. Herr Erhard can be quite an overbearing man at times, can't he? Now, Speer began, steepling his fingers. It will be quite expensive, won't it? Not that I'm opposed to it, just considering the whole picture. Yes, my Führer, it will cost us a fair amount. I'm sure it won't be difficult to sell to Reichstag, though. Many of the newer representatives are populists at heart, and once information about this becomes public, they'll be under immense pressure to accept it. The Führer took a moment to stew it over. The Reich's children certainly needed investment in their futures, and if the money was available to give citizens better quality healthcare, why not do it? With the military cuts and the rationalized taxation system, there really wasn't much of an argument against it. The money would just be sitting around gathering dust otherwise, waiting for some greedy bureaucrat to start picking away at it. Very good, Parteikanzler, Speer finally said. A quick scratch of his pen and the proposal bore the official signature of the Führer. Deliver it with my commendation. You've truly outdone yourself, Herr Kaisinger. Excellent. Okay, so what the hell is going on in Indonesia? What? Oh, those are just declarations of war. Okay. East Java government. Okay, so there's more fracturing here. Yeah. Prime military count. Oh, wow. Yeah, this area completely fractured, so did this one. So that's why there's so many things. But underneath all of this, Republic of Colombia has been unified by none other than the state of New Granada. No, wait, they defeated the state of New Granada. Really? The Republic of Colombia has defeated the state of New Granada. A specter of homicidal violence has appeared in Colombian history, whether it was believed to be that hypocritical respect for formalities, and whether it could replace the obedience of moral obligations. So yeah, left-wing populism. Okay, well, that's not what I expected, but cool. Tell me more. Anti-Houthi cabal. Der Verein, State of the Reich. Vast political promises. That is actually good. So are they doing something? Yes, train their infantrymen. Hopefully this can take them over. If they hit 10, then it's gonna be a bit of an issue, but what can we do? I mean, what can a man do in any case? Nothing, I tell you, nothing. Revolutionary victory in Colombia. As guerrillas march uncontested in the streets, the Colombian Revolutionary Union has emerged triumphant, fighting back both the New Granada fascists, which is weird, they were so much stronger. How could they lose that? And the central government alike. The left-wing faction sparked into revolution by Galtan's assassination. Oh, the left-wing faction sparked into revolution by Galtan's assassination has emerged with an undisputed mandate. Embassies from across the Organization of Free Nations in Havana, who backed the Revolutionary Union, have extended their congratulations and support to the new anti-fascist government as it enters into a transitional period. As the leaders of the Revolutionary Union prepare to meet in Bogota to vote on the new constitution, it remains to be seen whose vision will emerge triumphant and take power in the ravaged country. Potential and uncertainty yet await Colombia. Okay, still nothing here. But once we finish this one, I am going for the reform, because we're going to be at 45, 55 with the helping hand. Nothing really is stopping us from going where we want. Okay, still 7. Kaisinger's demands, healthcare and education. Speer had no sooner snatched up his ringing phone than in the voice of Reinhard Galen, R&D chief, came bursting out of the speaker amid a burst of static. "My Führer, I must speak with you," he barked. "This bill of Herr Kaisinger is..." Wait, let me check something here. Okay, this will work fine. The Führer sighed and pinched the bridge of his nose, feeling a headache coming on already. "What about it, Gavin? Legislation isn't your business. What are you bothering me for?" Gavin sounded indignant, angry even. "It is my business when our national security is at stake. We can't afford to have our academic base get out of hand. It's a spawning ground for Bolshevism, as I'm sure any seasoned intelligence officer could tell you. Need I remind you of the dissent groups that have already emerged from the student movements? Do you want a dozen more appearing every few months?" "Don't be so hyperbolic, Galen," Speer replied with a roll of his eyes. "You want to deny our youth the same education that our rivals enjoy because you're scared that it might make your job a little harder? You're going to need a better excuse than that to oppose this." The wine was silent for a moment as Galen composed himself. "My Führer," he said, voice smooth and inoffensive once more. "The less a man knows, the more pliable he remains. The world is a dangerous place, too dangerous for us to risk the growth of subversive academia. Bolshevism and its cohorts have always found a home among short-sighted young men and women. You must maintain control over our education system at all levels to secure the compliance of future generations. Think on it, my Führer." "What? Go away." "Or we need pliable youths." "Nope, go away. Go away and leave me be." Okay, and the helping hand gave us 50 political power, just what we spent, and regime stability increased by 2.5%. Of course, Galen would not be so forthright and thankful and helpful without the expectations of due reward. Quite unlike the NSDAP toadies, however, he has made a bold, unexpected, and altogether useful request: the formation of an entirely new intelligence agency under his direct authority. There are serious questions about his motives, but Galen has always been the very model of a consummate professional, motivated by patriotism and a borderline obsessive desire to keep the Reich's backroom affairs in order. He is one of our most successful intelligence operatives. Might this be what we need after all? Dubbed Reichsnachrichtendienst, Reich Intelligence Service, or RND, this proposed agency would consolidate our existing intelligence services under a single umbrella. All foreign intelligence gathering activities would be the RND's responsibility alone, and they would also take over all high-level internal security. Lower-level Gestapo roles will be folded into the Orpo, and the Abwehr will effectively become the RND's military division. This would be a considerable accumulation of power in Galen's hand, but would give us a clean break from the Hitler-era agencies and bring us up to par with our international rivals in the fields of espionage. I can only support that, my lovelies. So vast political promises now put us at 54.8 in regime stability, which gives us the possibility to go with the Ausbildung initiative, which is going to hit us in the stability painfully, but increase our abilities to go and deal with the science part. Still 5 days. Okay, well, not very good. But what can we do? I mean, it's just the first round. We can lose 2. So in case we are a bit unlucky, it's not an end of the world. Okay, so we are building 2 more Zerstörers. And then we are upgrading the ships actually. Yeah, let's leave it be. Kaisinger's demands, healthcare and education. My Führer. Oh, nice. Speer glanced up from his paperwork, a little surprised. It was unusual for his secretary to say anything more than strictly necessary for him. Yes, Friedman? The young man looked awkward for a moment, as though he'd forgotten how to speak. His mouth opened and closed like a fish a few times before the words came spilling out. My Führer, I just wanted to say thank you. Oh, Speer smiled and went back to revisiting his newest speech. Really, you needn't. You were overdue for a pay rise anyway. Oh, it's not that, my Führer. Speer looked up again, puzzled. I mean, this new legislation of yours, the Reichstag just passed, it means a lot to me and, to a lot of people I know. And people like me who grew up after the war. My wife can take up her degree again, and my mother doesn't have to choose between medicine and 3 square meals a day. So, thank you, my Führer. The 2 men, separated by generations and, unbeknownst to Friedman, their politics, were silent for a moment. Then Speer smiled again, sincerely this time. I'm glad to hear it. Making a difference to people like you was precisely the intention. Picking up his pen, Speer resumed his work, but not without one final smile and nod of approval at Friedman as he headed back to his desk with a little less weight on his heart. It's nice to be appreciated. So, we replaced the low income protections with universal coverage, which increases our daily political gain, increases monthly population growth by 7.5%, stability by 2.5%. Policy cost per capita, however, jumps by 91%, so we'll have to check our budget. Poverty, monthly change plus 0.01, that's probably in reduction, I think, and healthcare quality monthly change plus 0.05. And replace public with subsidized higher, that's education. Daily political power gain is lowered by 0.05, so, okay, effective change is 0.05 increase. Stability increased by 5, so we are at 92% now, having a 7.5% stability increase. Research speed increased by 5%, taxable population increased by 2%, poverty monthly change 0.02, we'll check that as well. Academic based monthly change 0.25 and research facilities monthly change 0.25. Highly decreased healthcare low-income protection policy effectiveness. Highly decreased education public policy effectiveness, but increased monthly healthcare policy effectiveness drift and monthly education policy effectiveness drift. We spent 5 billion, and political power increased by 40%. So, okay, effective changes. Our euro surplus is still okay. I'm not sure if this is recalculated, so we'll see. Let's give it a day to recalculate itself, because that might be something that we need to address. But you know, we have a huge surplus, so nothing should be okay. Debt to GDP, however, already increased. Okay, so the recalculation. No, okay, so this is fine. We're still having a euro surplus of 12.19 billion. Debt to GDP 97.7%. GDP is still dropping by a slight amount, but that might get rectified very soon. Societal development. Yep, poverty rate change is decreased and dropped to 0.03%. So with this new policy that we are introducing, the Ausbildung initiative, we might actually see finally a turning point. Academic base increased by 0.21, research facilities increasing by 0.58, agricultural methods dropping by 0.49. Really? That might be because the sulfur iron investments ended. Healthcare quality increasing by 0.27. We have advanced healthcare. Okay, so we can just increase by one step. Administrative efficiency is increasing by 1.55. Functional administrative system. Streamlined bureaucracy would be good. Stability increased. And daily political power gain. Oh, that would be nice. Drifted and national spending lowered and consumer good needs lowered. Industrial expertise is dropping. Okay, so this is definitely because of the sulfur iron, because before we were increasing. Industrial equipment, modern, professional army. 3.08. Wow, we're actually making huge leaps in army changes. Decision. Okay, we can drop this one. This is also not very important. Okay. So things are sort of looking good. With the modernization of the motorized, okay, we're missing still 190 towed anti-air, 422 anti-tank, okay, 45 days and 45 days, so in about a month and a half will be done. Attack helicopters, 66 days, so 2 months, and then we can throw our lot into that again. Cool. Ethiopia defeated the Oromo Liberation Front. Okay, so Ethiopia is getting slightly bigger. War is hell. No national focus. But hey, Ethiopia is an underdog that I have a special liking for. So let me see. Have you gotten all your equipment? You haven't. Are you still waiting for people? No, you're waiting for the equipment. So let's drill you in the meantime. You guys are still drilling. That's good. I like this. So the Republic of Armenia declared war on the Republic of Turkey. Oh, wait. Armenia? Is it? Oh no. Oh no. Why do these things happen? I mean, Armenia is getting beaten every single time I see it in any game. The Principality of Vyatka has conquered the Committee for the Liberation of Peoples of Russia in the struggle for fate of Russia. The traitors will never get to tell their side of the story. The Armenian Revolt. Annexed by the Republic of Turkey during the Second World War, Armenia has been the subject of harsh Turkification campaign for approximately 2 decades. Such policies have inspired fierce unrest among the Armenian people, culminating recently in an armed revolt in the region of Syunik. The revolt is primarily organized by the Sons of Haik, or Haiki Vordineri, which has unified Armenian insurgents under their banner. Marius Yuzbashian, a former official in the Armenian SSR, is broadly recognized as the leader of the revolt. Though the revolt seems to have a slim chance of succeeding, the morale of the insurgents remain high, as all of Armenian society is mobilized into one great struggle against the Turkish forces. Well, it appears they couldn't erase Armenia. So Ausbildung initiative is done. Mercifully, blue-collar jobs did not entirely vanish following the institution of forced labor. There remains a cadre of old workers, those lucky few who avoided conscription during the war, and were able to retain their jobs and businesses. Now Erhard wants to give these men a great opportunity to serve their country and address the great unemployment crisis. He has proposed to the Führer the establishment of a wide-reaching apprenticeship program to produce more skilled laborers. Naturally, this will be approved without question. There are no political angles that could be criticized here, and Germany is in dire need of skilled labor. Additionally, this program could be self-sustaining. The more people graduate from apprenticeship, the more mentors there will be for the next generations. So GDP growth is increased, which is nice. So now let's go with the revitalizing science, which gives us a bit more of a depth, but scientific investment increases our research speed by 7.5%, and academic base and research facilities start improving rapidly. So that's something that I would like to see. And let's see how our GDP is going to change. Or GDP growth, to be precise. I think that we might actually go with... Warning of within, then this one, and then let's turn to the Reichskommissariat Caucasian, because I would like to secure it when we can. Okay, of course they got a 10. God damn it. I think it's sulfur iron, no. Nothing here. Anti-Hittic cabal. Let's bolster them. Okay, well that pretty much leaves us with only one option. 1 to 3, 1 to 4, and 2 to 4. So pledge help to the guard is the only one that can actually do anything for us. If we're lucky, we can get a 10. As it stands, without foreign help, the Iron Guard will never be able to sit at the proverbial table. I mean, this one has a 50% chance we go over. This one has a 75% chance we go over. This one has a 25% chance. 25%, no, 43% chance. 43% chance we go under, 43% chance we hit right on target, and 43% we lose. So, watch to help the guard. And that's the only thing that we can do at this point. Really. There's nothing else for us. Refining is 240 RV. We're still building the next ones, right? Yeah, 2 more synthetic refineries. How's the construction going? We're still... Yeah, we're starting to build the shipyards that we wanted, which is good. The ships are being worked at. We do have a ton of Navy experience. So let us check the... Okay, these are the Rostock class refits. So let's assign them to the Hochseeflotte. That one is doing good. And what about you? Leipzig class corvette. So wait, it's here. Yeah, the production. Leipzig class corvette. Okay, so what can we do? What have you done? Okay, you improve the fire control system to level 2, which actually makes a lot of difference. Anti-air grows by 0.1 and light attack by 0.2. Well, I mean, if you want to call that a big difference, be my guest, it actually is. And radar can be increased to radar 2. Okay, so these corvettes have no anti-sub capability. Okay, so Leipzig class, let's call the Leipzig class refit. Because it actually is. So we really need to make the anti-sub frigates more prominent, because they are really not... wait, what happened? Did I not save it? No, I did save it. Leipzig costs refit. Refit ships. What? What are you talking about? I just upgraded it. Wait, what? Leipzig costs. I am... Oh no, these are some kind of historical ones. Oh yeah, that's why they got the depth charges. Ah, okay, I remember this. I had the same problem in the other mod in Equestria at War, because the template is not existing. This is just a name. It's a same name basically, but it's a different type of ship, so it won't match. Okay then, well, I guess what I could do is build a couple of them, but I don't think that's really necessary. But now we're getting that freaking 19 days. Okay, so we can start building some frigates then from the Cabal. Please, please, please be 10. If you're gonna hit me with an 11, I'm gonna be so mad. If you hit me with a 9, I'm gonna be so mad as well. 9. Boy, I mean, while we're at it, we can just establish the radio connection, right? We have a 25% chance it's gonna work. 75% chance we're gonna go over, but at this point we've lost already, so why the hell shouldn't we? Oh, and actually I forgot that we don't have the national focus. Okay, so let's go away from the warnings of within, and I think that I'm gonna end the episode here. Hey, looky! Poverty rate is not increasing anymore because, yeah, our real GDP growth is actually pretty darn nice. So are there any more that are gonna increase our GDP growth? Any more? Gentle approach will not do anything. Nope. Nothing here. The new Reichsmark. Okay, the Reichsmark is gonna give us an extra 1 point in GDP. Survival at all costs, bureaucracy to rely on. That's a stability one. Okay, but you know, we'll get at least 1% here, and that means our GDP is gonna start increasing. And if we keep repaying the debt and have a surplus GDP and inflation under control, we're basically golden, and we can just keep dealing with our army. So that ought to be really fine. As far as logistics go, we're not producing the airplanes. That is a big issue, but 18 days till we get enough to off-towed anti-air, 31 days for the Cobra missiles, and 52 days for the attack helicopters. So that means we can then start training some more infantry and maybe even some more motorized units, because I kind of like these. I don't want to say that they're bad. If we compare them to the infantry, and remember these guys don't have all of the equipment, their soft attack is higher. Hard attack is gonna be higher once they got the helicopters, which they don't at this point. Do you know? Well, you got some, but it's gonna go higher. Air attack is significantly lower. Defense is gonna be probably higher. Breakthrough is significantly higher. Piercing, and the max speed is what we're up against. This is a breakthrough unit. Basically, you push with special unit, and then these units break through and start massive or dramatically, quickly, you know, whatever you want to say, occupy the territories. So, warnings. Actually, you know what? Let's finish the warnings of within, because at that point we can go with the Reichsnachrichtendienst. Yeah, it's gonna be some time before we can get the next 51.5, but that's only because of the vast political promises. Yeah, we're at 40. About. Oh, and we could charge the reactionaries with treason, which would drop our stability by 10, but give us a weaker stability of 2.5, and regime stability will increase by 20. So in the end, if we can... Okay, the next time we get the vast political promises, we're gonna take them with the treason charges, and that ought to be good. Okay, awesome. Gavin has provided us with a list, a long one, and just the first of many. It wasn't surprising, of course, that the NSDAP is still packed to the gills with conservatives and militarists, and even a few SS sympathizers. What was surprising was the revelation of their boldness. Party men are, with a few exceptions, infamous for their cowardice and lack of imagination. This has been the case ever since we first took power and no longer had to worry about the electorate. We can largely pin this on the fact that the party now exists solely to fill the rubber stamp legislature that is the Reichstag, and as a career ladder for ambitious young bureaucrats. At least this list is more beneficial than concerning. The NSDAP has so far escaped throughout scrutiny. Escape throughout scrutiny in the Sondergericht compared to the bureaucrats. Time to uproot the weeds from our garden. It would be too drastic and unpopular to simply purge the entire party, but with concrete evidence of certain individuals' plan, who will question the removal of a few problematic elements. So, regime stability increased by 2.5%. And now let's get the Reichsnachrichtendienst. I keep mispronouncing that. And then we turn our interest to this area, because that is going to bring them to the Sulfur-Ein. Cool. So, thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you in the next episode where we are going to continue with all of our plans, actually, because things are going really well. I think it's going really well. Yeah, the treason charges are going to be good. I hope that the weaker stability might be the regime stability, but I think it's going to be the stability that we see here. But hey, having a 99% stability, I haven't even dreamed of that since the start of this playthrough. So, pretty darn good. And nothing in the Sulfur-Ein, really? Still can't invest? Well, what can you do? Well, we're gonna get it anyway. So, see you next time.